Okay, I have something interesting on the US dollar CAD in terms of a trade. So let's just recap what price action we've had on the higher time frames. Okay, so we've had these relative equal highs created. Um, the second touch creating this somewhat of a double top, right? But not actually even taking out the high of the previous one. We come all the way down to take out the liquidity here into this yearly gap. We expand up, we finally take out the liquidity, which is a lot, right? Over the span of how many months? You can see the entire consolidation. Time is liquidity as well, right? So you gotta keep that in mind. Time and as in duration, also specific times of could be the day, month, the day, the week, the year, but we have basically this is the higher time frame. Okay, I'm not looking at kill zones here. So in terms of duration and in terms of levels, which is these very clean double top. So consolidated and we finally expanded to there. So we've had a decent stab through it, right? It justifies a at least a retracement, so at least a bearish bias that we can look for. Okay, so which I did look for on the higher time frame as well as the lower time frame. So I'm gonna go through the higher time frame first. The lowest time frame with a candle busy is the 2 month time frame. Okay, so we had on the 2 month time frame we had this candle we traced down, touching this high. Okay, and then expanding up. After that, we came into those equal highs. I think consolidated a bit, at least on the lower time frames. And now we're expanding down. So I have a target here for this fair value gap in terms of a candle busy. I'm going to highlight this high here, okay, because usually we will touch a previous high. Now let's go down to the lower time frames and frame a possible short, not just based off this candle busy, but we do back it up with structural PD arrays and candle PD arrays on a lower time frame. So let's go down to the 3 month, okay, on the monthly. So monthly we had a um, candle busy here that got traded into, and then we expanded up, I believe, or it may have expanded up first. Let's have a look on the lower time frames. So go to the 3 month, quite possibly 3 week. So we had a 3 week here that was used. I think we possibly came down first and then came up. We'll see on the lower time frames. Now we're here. 2 week, 1 week. Okay, let's have a look. So maybe not. We actually came up first and then we came down. Okay. So on the 3 week, we used that already. 2 week, we had a gap here. We traded up into the liquidity and then we came down into here and then we expanded up. And now we're it looks like we're trickling down, right? Okay. On the weekly, that's not where I'm framing. My main trade that I'm framing is the 4-day. Okay. All right. So we've had this trend line here, and that's why price came down. And then it expanded up. It looks like, okay, now it's support again, and now it's coming back down. So we had a 4-day here. I'm just going to hide this so we're not confused. Okay. So just take note, the 2 month is down here, and this is the old high that was here. Okay. So we got 2 month candle busy, structural busy, sorry, R2F over here. Great target, great target. But just note, let's have a look at this, right? We had this candle, CB. I would say it's like, sorry, candle busy that was used. We expanded up and we closed around here. And now it looks like we're expanding down. So this busy is used already. There's nothing left to that. And there's no other candle PD raise on this time frame to be used. So I'm looking for this to become a possible inversion fair value gap for one on the 4-day. We have 16 hours for this 4-day to close, and we also have this candle OB. Okay, candle bearish candle order block on the 4-day. Not created yet, but in 16 hours. So I'm kind of anticipating the possibility of it being created. I'm not jumping the trade yet, but I can just very well let it close. And we have this candle busy that may possibly become an inversion gap that allows us also to trade and further into here. I'd be targeting around here and maybe some partials, and most of my partials taken probably just below this low, somewhere around here, and maybe a runner just to see if we come back to discount of this entire range. Where would discount be? Equilibrium's right here, pinpoint of that, smack dab in the middle of the R2F. But we can, I would possibly leave a little bit just as a runner coming to, down here. I might just take all. I'll probably just leave it 10% just to see if we come down into here and possibly these equal lows here, which I just saw. Okay, very nice. I'll just leave this on the daily charts. And yeah, even possibly lower. The dollar index is going down, possibly to a yearly R2F. You can have a look at yourself. So we go down to the lower time frames just to see what else is there, right? We got this candle, PD array, 16 hours for a possible 2-day gap to be created, and then possibly a 2-day order block. It's also a 2-day gap here as well, same as the 4-day. Conveniently, the daily, okay, so the daily, we have this candle CB on the 1 day. Very nice. And we had this candle order block too, not contained. We're waiting for the 4-day. Looks more clean. This is already done. We can't get into that. But there's possibilities, there's potential here. Okay. So how can we time it? We can refine another structural CB in here. Okay. Just note it for yourself. It's just on the 12-hour. We're just slowly going down the time frames. It may wick into that, but we want to see some nice body closing. And below, you have a structural order block here. Your frame of premium discount. But we have the daily that I think will get traded into. And then we can time it, right, with news, day of the week, seasonality, those type of things. And we can always wait for additional confirmation on even lower time frames. What time frames? 8, 4, 6. Get in there. Possibly get in a low risk sell if you're very confident about it. But yeah, it's candle CB on the daily. Something like in there, and then use this as an inversion gap later. Maybe, it might come into here, make it equal, maybe take out this low and then create equal lows here, or take out this low, create relatively equal lows, maybe even stab into this gap, but probably not. And then we'll probably get the retracement. I want to see the 4-day, trade into that most likely, and then come down into here. So there's some short potential. Even from here, the potential is just to the 2-month, 156 pips. So I'm waiting for that. And it pays to be patient. Frame it with the correct time of day. And, wait for liquidity to be created, some kind of manipulation where it looks like it's going down, suddenly shoots up, maybe during news, and then comes back down. That may be time to strike. Okay, so refined 1-hour gap here, the daily. But we may trade a bit higher. So yeah, see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. And if I get in a trade, I'll post it. All right. Good luck.